CVP analysis or cost volume profit analysis. So here's the flow of my discussion. Okay, so first, definition and purposes, then key assumptions, then contribution margin, then break-even point, margin of safety, sales mix, and operating leverage. So first, let's go with the definition and purposes. So CVP analysis or cost volume profit analysis is the analysis of the relationship among cost driver or activity level or volume, and profit. Cost is simply the amount associated for rendering services, buying and selling goods, and producing a product. The cost driver, activity level, or volume is the activity that drives the cost, either making the cost higher or lower. It can be expressed in different units of measurement, such as machine hours or labor hours, numbers of customers served, energy consumption, or any other activity-based measurement. But the most common is the number of units produced or sold, which I will be using for our illustration later. While profit happens when total revenues exceeds total expenses. Now, how do cost, volume, and profit relate to one another? Let's be logical to explain their connection. If you want a higher profit, you essentially need to have lower costs and produce and sell a large number of product outputs. But if you have higher costs and you produce units and sales performance are lower, you will get a lower profit. Simple as that. Okay po? So, next would be the purposes or use of CVP analysis. So, we got here profit planning. So, with CVP analysis, companies can set specific profit targets in a given period that allows them to develop a strategic plan for managing sales and costs. And it will also allow the companies to calculate their break-even point to cover their fixed costs and avoid losses. Next, pricing policy and strategy. So here, CVP analysis helps identifying the best price that a company can offer to its customers, determining if they can still afford to give discounts or promotions, and assessing how its pricing stands up against its competitors. And last is, the CVP analysis can be used to determine the type of product to produce and sell. If a company offers multiple products or services, CVP analysis can identify high-margin products, aiding businesses in optimizing their sales mix for maximum profit. So now let's go with the key assumptions. These are the basic or inherent assumptions to be considered in CVP analysis. And we need to familiarize this when using the CVP analysis. So first, all costs are classified as variable or fixed. Okay, when we say variable costs, these are costs that change directly and proportionally to the changes in business activity level or volume. So kung tataas yung sales volume, tataas din yung variable cost. At kung bababa naman yung sales volume, bababa rin yung variable cost. Example of variable costs are direct materials and direct labor. Kung nagbebenta ka ng upuan at tataas yung benta mo ng upuan, kailangan marami kang maproduce na upuan. At kung marami kang dapat maproduce na upuan, lalaki ang gastos mo sa materyales tulad ng kahoy at sa labor cost, sa karpentero. Tama po? At yung gastos natin doon, tawag natin variable cost. While fixed costs, these are costs that remain constant for a period of time irrespective of the level of outputs. So kung umuupa ka ng pwesto dun sa paggawa ng upuan, tumaas man o bumaba ang production or sales mo, yung gastos mo sa renta parehas pa rin since normally ang bayad mo niyan per month basis. So yung bayad mo sa upa considered fixed costs. So again, in CVP analysis, there are only two classifications of costs, variable or fixed costs. Okay, so next, VCU and TFC remain constant. Okay, VCU means variable cost per unit while TFC means total fixed cost. Yung legend natin, nasa baba po. Okay, ito po. Now, take note po, iba yung variable cost per unit sa total variable cost. At ganun din po ang total fixed cost sa fixed cost per unit. Again, what is being said here is that variable cost per unit and total fixed cost remain unchanged. Next, the cost and revenue are in linear. This simply means that the cost and revenue items are predictable And when we translate it into a graph, both will form a straight line. Basta po within relevant range and under a specific period of time. So we don't consider isolated or abnormal data. And the period covered can be on a monthly basis, quarterly, or yearly. Then selling price per unit remains constant. So for initial evaluation and understanding, the factors affecting the selling price remain unchanged, such as market demand, competition, and seasonality. Then productions are sales units. It means that there are no changes in inventory level. Walang nadagdag at nabawas kasi nga kung ano yung na-produce at a given period ay sharing na benta. Last, if the company sells multiple products, sales mix is constant. For simplification, it is assumed that proportion of each product sales remains the same regardless of changes in overall sales volume. Anyway, let's go with the important terms or items when it comes to CBP analysis. So at this point, we're going to familiarize ourselves with lots of formulas at medyo marami-rami po ito. So contribution margin, excess of sales over all variable costs, and it is the amount available for the recovery of fixed costs. So ito po yung formula, basic formula niyan. So we have sales. Sales is simply multiplying sales volume times the SP or the selling price less variable cost, sales volume times VCU. At alam na natin yon, variable cost per unit. Whatever is the difference, okay, that is our contribution margin. Okay po? Then less fixed cost, then you will get profit before tax. Then, if there's income tax to be computed, okay, we deduct it to get the net profit. By the way, income tax is being derived by multiplying the tax rate, okay, to its profit before tax. Okay, that's how you get income tax. So, to appreciate it, let's go with the illustration. Sisimplihan lang po natin. So, here's the illustration. Selling price, 12 pesos. Variable cost per unit, 8 pesos. Total fixed cost, 150,000 pesos. And actual units produced, 50,000 units. So, the requirement is to determine the contribution margin, the profit or loss before tax, and the net profit or loss after assuming an income tax, which is the tax rate to be used is 25%. Okay, so let's see the solution. So to determine the contribution margin, alam po natin na yan ay difference between the sales or should I say total revenues, okay, and the variable cost. Okay po? Pero if you will notice po kasi, binigay sa problem natin is yung per unit. Okay, so selling price per unit, then variable cost per unit. So whatever is the difference, contribution margin po yon, pero per unit basis. Okay? So 12 minus 8, we have 4 pesos. So to get the amount of the contribution margin, we simply multiply 50,000 units, the units produced, ito po yon, then times 4. Okay, the contribution margin per unit. By the way, kung nagtataka kayo, bakit 50,000 units yung ginamit natin, that is produced units, dapat sales units. Remember po sa assumptions natin, no? Sa CBP analysis, production units are sales units. Okay, so ito na rin po yung sales units. Okay, ito na po yung benta, yung na-produce. So 50,000 units times 4, you have 200,000. Tama po ba? Simple as that. Then, number 2, determine the profit or loss before tax. So, you have the contribution margin. Okay, just the continuation. Less fixed cost, which is given, 150,000 pesos. Ito po yun. Okay, so, profit before tax, you have 50,000. Okay. Then, assuming the tax rate is 25%, how much is the net profit or loss? So, from profit before tax tayo, magsimula, 50,000. Then, less income tax. Income tax is profit before tax times the tax rate. Ang profit before tax natin dito, 50,000. Times the 25%, you have 12,500. So, that's your income tax. Then, net profit, 37,500. Okay po? So, ganun lang po kasimple. Okay, next, break-even point. the point where there is no profit or loss, and in which total contribution margin is equal to fixed cost, and total revenues are equal to total expenses. So formulas, BEP in units is equals to total fixed cost over CMU. BEP in amount is equals to total fixed cost over CMR. BPE means break-even point, CMU means contribution margin per unit, and CMR is contribution margin ratio. To compute contribution margin ratio, we have formula here, contribution margin over sales, or CMU over SP. Okay? So here's the illustration. Okay? And then the requirements. Number 1, determine the break-even point in units. Number 2, determine the break-even point in amount. And number 3, determine the net profit. So number 1, determine the break-even point in units. So we have here break-even point in units is equal to total fixed cost over CMU. How many units should the company sell in order to break even? Okay, so fixed cost, that is 54,000. Okay, we got that because we add the 20,000 and the 34,000. Ito po yun. Okay, that's our fixed cost. Then over CMU, okay, contribution margin per unit. So that is simply the difference of the selling price and the variable cost per unit. Okay, based on the given, we have selling price of 25 pesos and variable cost per unit, yung total po netong mga to. Okay, so that is 20 pesos. Tama po ba? So 25 minus 20, CMU is 5 pesos. So 54,000 over 5 pesos, we have break-even point in units 10,800. Okay. Next, determine the break-even point in amount. Okay, so we have break-even point in amount is equals to total fixed cost over CMR. Okay. How much sales should the company have in order to break even? Okay, so again, our fixed cost is 54,000 and then over CMR, 20%. So, paano nakuha yung 20% na CMR? So, our formula, CMU over SP, contribution margin per unit over selling price. So, that is 5 pesos over 25 pesos. That's how you get the CMR, 20%. And to continue, break-even point is equals to 270,000. Okay, 54,000 divided by 20%, 270,000. Or we can get it also by multiplying the break-even point in units by the selling price. So 10,800 times 25 pesos is equals to 270,000. Tama po ba? Okay, so for checking purposes, tignan natin kung break-even talaga. So sales, 10,800 as the break-even point in units times 25 pesos, we got 270,000. So this is the same with break-even sales. Tama po ba? Less variable cost, 10,800 times 20 pesos. So we have here 216,000 pesos. Then contribution margin, 54,000 pesos. Less fixed cost, 54,000 pesos. So there's no profit, there's no loss. Break even nga. Now to determine the net profit, so we have here sales, 12,000 units times 25 pesos. Okay, 12,000 units is the actual production. Ito po yun, per given. So, as assumed, yan din po yung sales. Tama po ba? So, 12,000 units times 25, we have 300,000 pesos. Less variable cost, 12,000 units times 20 pesos. Okay, 240,000 pesos. So, contribution margin is 60,000 pesos. Less fixed cost, 54,000 pesos. Then, net profit is 6,000 pesos. Okay po. So, just to continue the illustration, no? What if the company targets to have 8,000 pesos as their profit? Okay, paano po yun? So, yung formula natin in break-even point, i-modify lang po natin ng onte. So, to get the desired in sales units, we have total fixed cost plus desired profit over CMU. Okay, so yung 54,000 kanina, plus yung desired profit ng company, ipag-plus lang natin, that would be 62,000 over the CMU, which is 5 pesos, yung kanina na compute natin. So we got 12,400 units. So in order for the company to have a profit of 8,000, they need to sell 12,400 units. Okay, next, desired in sales amount. So equals total fixed cost plus desired profit over CMR. Okay, so 54,000 plus 8,000, 62,000 over 20%. We got 310,000. Okay? Or we can get it by multiplying the desired in sales units, 12,400 by selling price. So the answer is still 310,000. So for checking purposes, so sales, we have here 310,000. That is 12,400 units times 25 pesos as the selling price, less variable cost. 12,400 units times 20, we got 248,000. So contribution margin is 62,000, less fixed cost 54,000. So net profit would be 8,000. Tama po yung sagot natin. Okay, kasi nag-match siya. So punta na tayo sa margin of safety. This is the amount of peso sales or number of units by which actual or budgeted sales could decrease before losses may occur. So here's our formulas. So we have mass in units is equals to sales in units. This is the actual or budgeted sales in units minus break-even sales. Then we have mass in amount, total sales, actual or budgeted minus break-even sales. Then MSR is equals to margin of safety over total sales. And then we have also additional formula to get profit. So profit is equals to margin of safety times CMR. So anyway, mass means margin of safety and MSR is margin of safety ratio. So medyo simple lang tong formula na to. Okay? So margin of safety in units, again, that's the difference in sales units, actual or budgeted man, over the break-even sales. So per our illustration a while ago, 12,000 units is the actual minus 10,800 units, the break-even. So the difference is 1,200. That's our margin of safety in terms of units. The same way with mass in amount. Okay? So actual sales as computed a while ago, 300,000 versus the break-even sales in amount, 270,000. So mass in amount or margin of safety in amount is 30,000. While MSR, margin of safety over total sales, so that is 30,000 over 300,000, we got 10%. Then profit, margin of safety times contribution margin ratio. So as computed, 30,000 times 20%, okay, per our illustration. So you have 6,000 pesos. So pares lang po yan kanina. Ito po yun. Yan. Okay. So next would be the sales mix. It refers to relative proportions in which a company's products are sold. So here's our formulas. SM in units is equals to sales in units per product po ito over total sales in units. SM in amount is equals to sales in amount per product ulit over total sales in amount. So just in case the company is selling multiple products, so medyo magbabago ng onte yung formula to get the break-even point. So we have BEP in units is equals to TFC over WACMU. And BEP in amount is equals to TFC over WACMUR. Okay, so yung legend po, nandito po sa baba to appreciate kung ano pong ibig sabihin ng mga abbreviation na to. Now, to determine the WACMU, we have TCM over total sales in units. And WACMUR is equals to TCM over total sales in amount. Okay, so to appreciate, let's have illustration. Salbahan Company sells products D, E, and W. Data about the three products are as follows. So, ito po yung mga data. The requirements are determine the net profit of the company, sales mix in units and in amount, the WACMU and WACMUR, and the BEP in units and in amount. So, pakita po natin yung solution. So, first, determine the net profit of the company. So, basically, we will use the format of contribution margin statement. So, again, we have sales variable cost, contribution margin, then fixed cost, then net profit. So, each product po, kukunin natin yung contribution margin. So, sales, for product D, 100,000, ito po yun, 100 pesos as the selling price times the respective sales in units. Okay? Same with E. Okay? Kaya po siya merong sales dito na 240,000. That is 120 times 2,000 units. And same with W. Selling price is 52 pesos times 5,000 units. That's how you get 260,000 pesos. So, total of 600,000 pesos yung sales. So, variable cost, the same way na kinuha natin. Isa-isahin lang po natin yan. 60 times 1,000, 96 times 2,000, 39 times 5,000. Okay, so the difference, contribution margin, 40,000 for product D, 48,000 for product E, and 65,000 for product W. Total contribution margin, 153,000 pesos. Less fixed cost, 102,000 pesos. So, net profit would be 51,000 pesos. Okay po? Simple as that. Now, determine the sales mix, okay, in units and in amount. So, basically po, i-percentage lang natin yan per product versus doon sa total. Okay, so in terms of units, eto po yan, merong 1,000 units si D, 2,000 units si E, and 5,000 units si W. Total of the sales units of the company, 8,000. So, ito po yung percentage niyan respectively. Okay, as we proportion. So, 12.5% for D, 25% for E, and 62.5% for W. When it comes to sales mix in amount, okay, so sales pa rin po ito. Ito po yun, respectively, 100, 240, and 260. Then, over total, 600,000. So, ito po yun. That's why, for product D, meron tayong 16.67%. For E, 40%. And for W, 43.33%. Now, to determine the WACMU and WACMOR, so WACMU, again, this is weighted average contribution margin per unit. So to get that, total contribution margin over total sales in units. So as shown a while ago, ito yung contribution margin unit ng company, no? 153,000 pesos over the total sales in units, that is 8,000 units. So the weighted average contribution margin per unit would be 19.125 pesos. Okay? WACMOR is equals to TCM over total sales. Again, WACMOR is weighted average contribution margin ratio. Okay, so again, contribution margin, ito po yun. Okay, 153,000 pesos over the total sales. Kanina, 600,000 pesos. So yung weighted average contribution margin ratio natin is 25.50%. Okay? To determine the BEP in units and in amount, okay, we will use our basic formula. Okay? Fixed cost over contribution margin per unit and ratio. Pero this time, of course, weighted average since the company is selling multiple products. So, the total fixed cost, okay, which is the TFC here, is 102,000. Okay, given po yan. Ito po yan. Okay? Then, divided by the WACMU, 19.125 as computed. Ito po, kanina. So, BEP in units is 5,335 units. Okay? Then, BEP in amount is TFC over WACMOR. So, again, 102,000 pesos divided by 25.5%. Ito po yun. Okay, as computed a while ago. So, BEP in amount is 400,000 pesos. Okay? Now, to determine the applicable units and applicable sales in amount, okay, for each product, we will just multiply it by the respective sales mix ratio. Okay? So, anyway, let's go with operating leverage. This is the extent to which an organization uses fixed costs in its cost structure. It refers to the ability of the firm to generate an increase in net income when sales revenue increases. It is the firm's ratio or fixed cost to variable cost. So our formulas, OL is equal to TCM over net profit, or OL is equals to percent change in net profit over percent change in sales. So OL means operating leverage. Okay? So anyway, to appreciate, meron tayo ditong illustration. Okay, Company A, Company B, and Company C. The requirement is determine operating leverage for each company. So obviously, our formula, TCM, that is total contribution margin over net profit. Okay? So dito lang po tayo titingin. Ito po yun. Yung contribution margin for each company. Then the net profit. Okay? Pare-parehas naman po yata yung net profit, no? So, ito po yung solution. So for Company A, 200,000 over 50,000 pesos. And Company B, 100,000 over 50,000 pesos. Company C, 450,000 pesos over 50,000 pesos. So for operating leverages, we have 4, 2, 9 for A, B, C respectively. It is obvious that when a company has higher fixed costs, it would definitely have higher operating leverages. So that means a little percent change in sales would have a greater impact on the net income. Kaya lang, if the company has higher fixed costs and higher operating leverages, it is also means that they need to have higher break-even point. So to continue the illustration, if you will notice, to determine the break-even point of each company, fixed costs, we have here 150,000 for Company A, 50,000 for Company B, and 400,000 for Company C. Okay? Contribution margin ratio. Okay? Respectively, ito po yun, 40%, 20%, and 90%. So, as we get the break-even point, since mas malaki yung Company C, no, yung fixed cost niya, okay, yung break-even point niya, mas malaki din. Okay? So, that's the negative, should I say, okay, negative effect of having higher fixed costs. Though, mas maigi naman kasi higher din yung operating leverages. Now, to further appreciate, let's assume that the sales revenue increased by 10% or 50,000 for each company. So, ito po yung mangyayari, increase in sales for each company, 50,000 pesos. Okay, as you can see here, dito sa baba. Okay, lahat po sila, each company has 550,000 pesos now as their sales. Then variable cost and contribution margin will remain the same as far as the percentage is concerned. Okay, but of course different in amount. Okay, fixed costs will remain the same in terms of amount. Okay, kaya lang medyo mag-iiba when it comes to percentage. Now, the net profit definitely would be different. Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo kanina, so each company has 50,000 pesos as their net profit. Okay, this time, iba-iba na po. So, Company A, we have 70,000. Company B, 60,000. Company C, 95,000. So, obviously, the increase in net profit, okay, if we will compare it, Company C has the higher increase. Okay, simply because the Company C has the higher operating leverages. Kaya nga po sa example natin kanina, Company C, no, ang operating leverages niya is 9. Okay, so in effect, mas malaki yung magiging impact niya when it comes to the net income. Okay? Just 10% change in sales would have a greater impact pagdating sa net income niya. Speaking for Company C. While yung Company B, yung pinaka-least, okay? Kasi nga when it comes to operating leverage, 2 lang po yung sa kanya. And this is because ang focus kasi ng cost is more on variable cost. Kung mapapansin nyo dito. Okay? It comprised 80%. While Company C, ang focus niya is more on fixed cost. Okay? That's why talagang mas lalaki yung operating leverages niya. Okay po? That's all. Thank you.